Hello, strong people. It is 2 days after Strongman Corporation Nationals 2023, and I didn't record anything yesterday. Just kind of wanted to relax. It was my wife and I's first anniversary, 1 year being married. So I wasn't going to come out here and make a video. I was going to spend time with her. But now that it's the following day, we're out here in the gym. I did some really light banded stuff just to get some blood in the muscles, a little bit of a sweat going. So, just in case you've been following along, you know that my goal has been to qualify for the Arnold Amateur, and I did not do it. So, they took top 13, and I came in 14th place. I missed it by one spot. I think I was like 4.5 points behind the guy in 13th. Can't lie, that stings. That really stings. But I don't want to let that overshadow the fact that I had a very good performance. It has to be my best show I've ever put together. I mean, I had 3 top 10 finishes. I'm not saying that to brag or be cocky. I'm saying it because I can hardly believe that I did it. So I have to speak it out to make it feel more real, because I had numbers and times I wanted to hit, but I didn't even think about placing wise where I'd be in each event. But first event was a little rough for me, sandbag toss. I did better than expected, so I can't be too upset about that. It's one of those events where I trained it hard and I got the 50-pound bag over 16 feet. I barely cleared 50 over 15 feet in training. I mean, barely. So to get 50 over 16, huge win, huge PR. Cannot be upset. With that being said, I still think I came somewhere middle of the pack on that event. 55 would have been better points, probably enough points to qualify me for the Arnold. But I can't change that now. Event 2 was probably the highlight of the weekend for me. So event 2 on Friday was the log press for reps. Going into it, 3 to 5 reps was the plan. If you've been following along, I'm pretty sure I said that from the start, 3 to 5. 5 was best case scenario, and I hit 5. I don't want to say easily, because obviously rep 4 and 5, they were pretty grindy reps, but I locked all 5 out. No real issue. Smooth. I felt planted. I didn't feel dizzy. Didn't feel anything, which a lot of other people seem to struggle with. Getting dizzy, passing out, which is always a concern when you have a log over your neck. But I didn't notice it, so lucky for me. But I won that event outright. No ties, nothing. Some people got 4, but I was the only one that got 5 with a 345-pound log. So that's wild to me. I still can't believe that. I've watched that video back so many times just because it almost doesn't feel real. But so I took first in that event in the nation at Amateur Nationals. That's pretty cool. Definitely the highlight of the weekend for me. Event 3 was stones. Historically, not a good event for me. The very last training session I had with stones went really well, though. Training with a couple of my buddies who are pretty good at stones. Better than me, for sure. And I was able to kind of hang with them. They still smoked me quite easily, but I felt like I was, almost holding my ground. But I loaded the first 2 stones pretty easily. And at this point, I've waited in line for a long time, because I won the previous event. I was dead last in this event, and we all had to go one at a time. So there was 53 people in front of me. So it took quite a while to get through, but that didn't affect anything. I didn't cramp up or anything, I knew what was happening, so I was prepared to go last. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to make an excuse about that. I just wasn't strong enough to get the 3rd stone. I kind of made a mistake on the pick. Um, I think I have this reoccurring problem where I try to pull it into my lap too soon. I need to stand up higher with the stone before I lap it. And I made that mistake on the 350 stone. If I would have got that stone, probably would have been good enough points to qualify for the Arnold. It's kind of a reoccurring theme on these events here. But once again, I still can't be too upset because I did the first two pretty quickly. That was the end of day 3. I think by the end of day 3, I was sitting in 14th or 20th. I don't really remember. It doesn't matter really, but 20th sounds more right, but I don't know for sure. Either way, on to day 2, the max trap bar deadlift. I really wasn't sure what to expect here. More people were staying in around the 860 mark than I thought. And I really wasn't sure where I was going to be. I had a pretty good idea, but as we started to get to that 860, people started to drop off. And then a lot of people dropped off at the 900 or 904, whatever it was. And they limited us to 6 attempts for this instead of last man standing. So once again, we warmed up a while before this, and I passed on quite a few of the weights to save some energy, but then I jumped in at like low 7s, I think, just for one warm up, just to stay a little bit warm before I make that jump to like low 800s or whatever it was. I think it was like 816. Yeah, so I took 816 for my second jump. It moved really well. Went up to 860. It would have been my third attempt. Still moved well. So I was in with the 900s at this point. The next jump was 904 for my fourth attempt. Did it easily, not quite as easily as before, obviously, 44-pound jump. And it came my turn, would have been my fifth attempt for the 948, I think it was. I got it. It was pretty close to an RPE 10. It looked pretty good on camera, but I felt like if I go down to a knee after my deadlifts, that's like probably close to my absolute max. So I pulled 948. I caught it there. I knew that at worst, that was like third, maybe. If somebody got the next jump and the jump after that, I would have been like tied for third. And I was okay with that at that point. But I ended up tying for second on that event. The next guy's up. A bunch of people pulled the 998, I think it was, or 993, something along those lines. And then some people stayed in. I think there was a few left for the next jump at like 1,036. One guy tried it, and he didn't get it, so the other guys called it there. They all settled on a tie. They played it smart. Those guys, they know what they're doing. They know that 1,036 or whatever is probably going to zap a lot of their energy. And with it being the first event of the day, no reason to go that heavy for an extra point or two. Just doesn't make sense. So event 5 total, second event on day 2. It was the yoke wheelbarrow medley. It looked like because I was a second in the event before, I got to go pretty far down in the lineup for this one too. So I got to watch a lot of people in front of me. But I didn't really know what a good time was. I was seeing some sub 20s, like 18 seconds and whatnot. I also saw a lot of people struggling with the yoke portion, getting real wobbly. I got up there. It was my turn. Some people were struggling with the wheelbarrow too. People were saying it was falling. Like once you picked it up, you had to go with it or else it would kind of drag you. But to me, everything felt pretty normal. The yoke felt fine. Pretty easy running the yoke. Definitely the fastest I moved with 850. It didn't feel nearly as heavy as it did in training, so that's huge. Transition could have been faster. I'm going to always say that just because that's how I feel. Can never be too fast in transitions. And then, let's see. The wheelbarrow I almost messed up on. Because of the way it was designed, the wheels are off the ground. You got to pick it so the wheels hit the ground, and then you have to actually pick the weight off the ground. So it's kind of like 2 picks in one. So I did the first pick, and then I went to do the second pick, not thinking about it, and I almost lost my grip. But I was determined to not repick it. I knew that would take way too much time. Was not willing to do it. I was going to go as far as I could. If I made it, I made it. And I did. If I had to go another foot or two, I would have absolutely dropped it because it was close to my fingertips at that point. So I think it was almost 19 seconds, a little bit under 19. So once again, my goal was, under 20 seconds, which I did. Cool. 7th place there, I think. I think it was 7th. So another top 10 finish, my 3rd of the weekend, that's crazy. I can't believe that. And then going into the final event, I was in 11th place. So we didn't know at this point exactly how many they were taking to the Arnold. We had a good idea. We had the formula, top 3 plus 20%, but I didn't know exactly how many people there were. I think it was 54. Originally, it was 58. So we were pretty sure it was top 13 at that point, and I was number 11. But power stairs is not my favorite event. It wasn't in training. I don't think any of my real training sessions with power stairs went great. They were okay. I mean, early on when the weight was light, but I never did. It's hard to find a power stair setup. 580 barbell has a good one down there, but you can't go up, run down, take up another one. It's built for one power stair at a time, and that's way better than nothing. I promise you that. It's better than nothing. But so I didn't train I didn't train all 3 implements at once. I didn't train going down afterwards, the transition from one power stair to the next. And I never even touched the 3rd power stair weight. I got close. I did 450, but my main goal in this event was just to finish it. And even then I knew that wasn't probably going to be good enough to keep me in that, top 13. And it wasn't. I finished in 36, 37 seconds, and that was just too slow. I think I got 20 points on that, maybe. So towards the bottom 3rd of the group, I'd say. And the worst part about all this is they don't release the final scores, final placings until at the banquet later that night. So I'm in the AM session, so they still have the entire PM session to go through. And I don't think they put out the final scores until 10 o'clock on Saturday night, 10:30, something like that. So I'm at home at this point. I wasn't sticking around for the banquet. I didn't want to sit around for another 9 hours. I already checked out of my hotel room that morning, so I had nowhere to go anyway to shower or clean up or whatever. And frankly, after you compete for, 2 days, you just kind of want to go home. So I'm sitting at home, and I see the results, and I'm like, I can't believe that just happened. I see top 13, and I'm sitting in 14th. That is on. Don't get me wrong. I am that's a huge improvement from last year. I think I got 30th last year or something. So to come in the top 15, getting 14th, one spot away from the Arnold is pretty cool. But if you know me, I don't think that way. I think, wow, you were one spot off. What in those 6 events could you have done better? And I obviously, talked about that in the beginning of this video. Sandbag could have done one more bag, could have loaded one more stone, could have been 2 seconds faster, 1 second faster on the yoke wheelbarrow. So it hurts. I can't lie. That hurts a lot. There's more positives than negatives to this weekend, though, in a way. I didn't accomplish the ultimate goal of going to the Arnold. But in terms of single events, what I did, I was almost perfect. Almost did exactly what I wanted to do, or better, or exceeded what I wanted to do. So I cannot be mad about that. But I know you can't see it from here, but on my little chalkboard over there, in the upper right-hand corner, I have Arnold invite. And it's been up there. It's been up there since March, when I won that show in March. And it's kind of tough to explain because my thought process yesterday, all day long, I was like, I just want to go out into the gym. Because, I don't know, it's hard to put it into words. But I know there's a possibility that I get called up in case someone can't make it or whatever. I think I'm the next in line. I'm 14th. They took the top 13. So I suppose there's a chance I get called up. Now, some people might like that. And don't get me wrong, I'd love that. I would absolutely take it if they gave it to me. But I would feel like I did not earn it because, in my opinion, I didn't. They took top 13. I did not make the top 13. So I won't say no if they do it, but I'll feel like I got something to prove if I go there because I didn't earn it in my mind. I didn't. So if I do get that call up, I feel like I absolutely have something to prove. And I just honestly can't wait to get working on it. That's all I want to do. So the plan is to prep for it. My coach and I decided that we need to prep for it. We don't really know the events yet. We have an idea, maybe similar to America's Strongest Firefighter, but that's not for sure. So the plan is to prep for the show. It's going to be a heavy show. So if I get a late call up, a month out or whatever, I mean, I need to be ready. So if I get that late call up and I did no prep, went straight into off-season work, that's just not going to be, it's not going to look good for me at that show because I'm probably going to get stomped because it's an international show, This is like where Bobby Thompson, I think he earned his invite to the Arnold there. Pretty sure that's where Matus Kiliskowski earned his Arnold invite. Like, these are legit people. Pros there. The three guys that just earned their pro card, I'm pretty sure they get invites. So there's multiple pros there, even though it's an amateur show. But I would have to be at my peak, my best to go there and do something. Obviously, I have my good events, my decent events like press, but it depends on the press event. If it's for speed, might be someone better. Just depends. All I know is I still got work to do. I'll always still have work to do. That's just how it is. You never stop having work to do in this type of sport. So I'm going to have some fun this week, do some, gym lifts, whatever. But be smart about it too. That one spot short is going to haunt me. It will until next year. Oh, not much else to say, but if you want to watch someone prep for the Arnold in a shed as winter approaches and see me scrape ice off my weights before I use it every day here pretty soon, then stick around because this could get fun. And thanks to I talked to a lot of people, made a lot of cool friends. People that said they've seen my YouTube, or they followed me on TikTok or from Instagram, the people that you've liked their stuff for years and then you see them, meet them, talk to them. That's one of the best things about going to nationals. You see all these cool people that you've seen online or talked to online. You see the people that you don't get to see all the time, some of your other strongman buddies. And it's just a lot of fun. It really is. If you can't tell, that finishing one place short, kind of bothers me. But that's just how I am. Back to the drawing board. So I didn't record a whole bunch there. So I'll put together a little highlight video besides this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.